Hello everyone and welcome back to Easy Dentistry, a channel that makes dental education incredibly easy and interesting. We have started uploading lectures on the chapter Bacterial Infections of the Oral Cavity, which is a very important chapter from oral pathology. We have already uploaded lecture on scarlet fever and diphtheria. Watch the lectures. The description box shows you the link. And today's lecture is on another important disease, that is tuberculosis. But before we begin, please subscribe to our channel and also hit on the bell icon. Do share these lectures with your friends and let us know in the comment box if you really like the lectures. So in this lecture of tuberculosis, we would be studying the introduction to tuberculosis, the etiology, pathogenesis, clinical features, the oral manifestation of tuberculosis, which is very important for all dental students, the histology of the tubercular lesion, the diagnosis and the treatment. So starting with the introduction, tuberculosis is a specific infectious granulomatous disease caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and it remains a major health problem in the developing countries of the world like India. The most affected organs by tuberculosis are the lungs, intestines, meninges, bones, joints, lymph nodes, skin and other tissues. Now, a specific type of tuberculosis which affect the cattle is known as bovine tuberculosis, and this bovine tuberculosis is sometimes communicated from the cattle to the man. Now, the etiology of tuberculosis, it is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis, which is a facultative intracellular parasite. It is rod shaped, it is non-sporing and it is aerobic. So remember all these features of Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It is rod shaped, non-sporing and aerobic, and it is an acid-fast bacilli. We have already uploaded a lecture on acid-fast staining in the microbiology section. The acid-fast staining is also very important question for your MCQs, for your NEET entrances. So watch that lecture on acid-fast staining. It will give you an entire idea about acid-fast bacilli and their staining. So here you can see a preparation of acid-fast stain, where you can see these rod-shaped Mycobacterium tuberculosis, which are acid-fast positive or acid-fast. Now, acid-fast bacilli are called as acid-fast because once stained with acid, it cannot be decolorized with acid alcohol. Once stained, it does not get decolorized with acid or alcohol. So it is called as acid-fast bacilli. The acid fastness of these acid-fast bacilli are due to increase in the amount of mycolic acid in their cell wall, cross-linked fatty acids in their cell wall, and their cell wall is quite lipidic. So these features make them acid fast. Now the pathogenesis of tuberculosis. The interaction of the bacilli and the host begins when the droplet nuclei from the infectious patients are inhaled by the host. The majority of the bacilli present in these droplets are trapped and exhaled by the ciliary action of the alveoli. So only 10%, they are exhaled by the ciliary action, and only 10% of these mycobacterium, they reach the alveoli to cause tuberculosis. Now let us study the host bacterial interaction in tuberculosis. In the initial stages, the host bacterial interaction either is by host macrophages control the multiplication of bacteria, or the bacteria grow and kill the macrophages. Now, the non-activated monocytes, they are attracted from the bloodstream to the site by various chemotactic factors, And these monocytes, they ingest the bacilli released from the lysed macrophages. The initial stages of the infection are asymptomatic. After 2 to 4 weeks, there is tissue damaging and macrophage activating responses. There is specific immunity which comes into action, and there is macrophage accumulation at the site forming the tubercles. Now, the hard tubercle of tuberculosis is made up of epithelioid cells, Langerhans giant cells, plasma cells, and fibroblasts. This formation of hard tubercles occur when the host resistance is quite high. So, these are the cells present in the hard tubercle. Now, the cell-mediated immunity of the host causes activation of macrophages and various lymphokines are released which neutralizes the bacilli. Now, the central part of this tubercle may undergo caseous necrosis and is filled with a soft, cheesy material. So here you can see the hard tubercle made up of epithelioid cells, lymphocytes, Langerhans giant cells, fibroblasts, and here the hard tubercle is converted into soft tubercle because in the center of the lesion caseous necrosis has occurred. Now, sometimes this caseous necrosis in the center of the lesion may undergo calcification and this lesion is called as Raney complex. So, another important MCQ question, what is Raney complex? Now, the caseous necrosis in the tubercle may undergo liquefaction resulting in the formation of an empty cavity. So, the caseous necrosis may undergo liquefaction resulting in the formation of a cavity or tubercular cavity, which is seen mostly in the lungs or in the PHS view of the lungs. Now, the clinical features, patients may exhibit fever, chills, fatigue, malaise, loss of weight, cough and hemoptysis. Tuberculosis may be classified as pulmonary and extrapulmonary. Pulmonary tuberculosis may be primary, secondary and miliary, while the extrapulmonary tuberculosis may involve the lymph nodes, the pleura, the genitourinary tract, bones, joints, meninges and even the peritoneum. Primary tuberculosis mostly affects the children. Most of the children are asymptomatic. They become febrile and the cough may be present which may be dry or productive. The secondary tuberculosis patients show fever, cough, then chest pain and hemoptysis. Miliary tuberculosis affect the children and these children show acute febrile illness and adults may show insidious disease with ill health, anorexia and loss of weight. Now, an important point to remember here, an MCQ question which is also asked in your Viva. What is scrofula? Now, scrofula is tuberculous lymphadenitis. It mostly affects your submandibular and the cervical lymph node. So, the tuberculous involvement of the lymph nodes, mainly the submandibular and the cervical lymph nodes, is called as scrofula. It is nothing but an abscess with and it may be a granulomatous lesion. It is tender, inflamed and may undergo pus formation or abscess formation and perforation too. So here you can see a scrofula lesion. Now, what is lupus vulgaris? Lupus vulgaris is the tuberculous involvement of the skin. This is another important MCQ question. What is lupus vulgaris? The skin involvement in tuberculosis is called as lupus vulgaris. It affects mostly children and adults and it is persistent lesion which occurs on the face. It appears as papular nodular and it may sometimes ulcerate. So here you can see a classic lesion of lupus vulgaris. Now, the oral manifestations of tuberculosis. Oral lesions are common, and these lesions may be primary or secondary due to inoculation. Now, sputum may break in the oral, may cause the bacilli present in the sputum of the patient may enter the oral mucosa through a break in the mucosa, and sometimes the hematogenous spread may also occur. Tongue is the most common site affected, followed by palate, lips, buccal mucosa, gingiva, and the frenum. The lesion is irregular in shape. It may be superficial or deep. It may be a painful ulcer with slow increase in their size. And trauma may occur. Trauma may be a predisposing factor for the bacilli to show manifestation in the oral cavity. The lesion may be granular or nodular, fissured lesions. Gingival lesions may be diffuse, hyperemic, nodular, papillary proliferation. So here you can see a tubercular lesion involving the gingiva and the hard palate. It is a nodular ulcerated lesion. Maxilla and mandible are equally affected by tuberculosis. The entry of the lesion may be through a periapical inflammation or via bloodstream. And an anachoretic effect has been noted in the oral cavity. Now, tuberculous periapical granuloma is also called as tuberculoma, is a common lesion occurring in the oral cavity. Later stages, tuberculous osteomyelitis may occur, which have a very unfavorable prognosis. Now, the histologic features. Histologic features of oral lesions of tuberculosis are similar than in other organs. There is a cell-mediated hypersensitive reaction resulting in the formation of a granuloma or a tubercle, which we have already studied, and there may be a foci of caseous necrosis in these tubercle. These tubercles may be made up of epithelioid cells, lymphoid cells, and Langerhans giant cells, which we have already studied. Now, the diagnosis may be based upon the special stains for staining the acid-fast bacilli and by culture. The Mycobacterium tuberculosis is an acid-fast bacilli, and the gold standard for the diagnosis of tuberculosis is by radiograph or tuberculin test. The sputum may be stained for the Ziehl-Neelsen stain, Quignon's cold staining method, and rhodamine staining followed by fluorescent microscopy may be useful. Classically, 5 acid-fast bacilli must be visualized in fluorescent microscopy, and 3 acid-fast bacilli should be identified in Zn staining to confirm the diagnosis of tuberculosis. Now, sputum smear has 60% sensitivity in the diagnosis. Mycobacterial culture, the culture medium used for the Mycobacterium tuberculosis is Lowenstein-Jensen medium and Middlebrook medium. The incubation period is 4 to 6 weeks. Other advanced techniques include rapid slide culture technique and radiometric culture. Now, the tuberculin test or the Mantoux test. Now, this Mantoux test is asked in your exams. So, watch this part of the lecture carefully. The Mantoux test involves subcutaneous injection of 0.1 ml of 5 tuberculin units of purified protein derivative of Sibert stabilized with tween 80 or 1 tuberculin unit of PPDRT23 into the forearm of the patient, and the test is considered to be positive if induration is seen after 48 to 72 hours. The maximum diameter of the induration is measured. Remember, there should be induration, and this is measured by palpating the induration. Now, this is the scale of diagnosis. If the induration is more than 15 mm with ulceration, the test is considered as strongly positive. If the induration is more than 10 mm, it is considered as positive. If it is 5 to 9 mm, it is indeterminate, and if it is less than 5 mm, it is negative. Now, the positive reaction by Mantoux test shows that the mycobacterium has sometimes replicated in the living tissues, but it does not definitely confirm a active disease. So it confirms that in that tissue the mycobacterium had replicated at some point of time. 85% of the test is false negative in case of tubercular pleurisy, miliary tuberculosis, immunocompromised patients, and in viral fever. The newer methods of diagnosis are the radioimmunoassay, soluble antigen fluorescent antibody test, enzyme linked immunosorbent assay, and the polymerase chain reaction to detect the bacterial DNA. Now, we have completed the entire lecture on tuberculosis and focusing mainly on the oral manifestation. Important points to remember for your exams: the causative organism, the acid fastness of the organism, and the reasons for its acid fastness. What is scrofula? What is lupus vulgaris? These are the points which are asked in your entrance test. So be thorough with all these concepts. The next lecture will be on leprosy. Please subscribe to our channel if you have not yet done. That's all for now. Happy studying.